Zimbabwe, with a literacy of over 90%, boasts a strong pedigree in education. There have been some challenges in maintaining its high standards in recent times, but with help from China, it is steadily heading back toward its continent-leading status. And its young people are also learning new things. Our correspondent Farai Mwakatuya has more from Harare.
It's widely believed that the best way to cement relations between two nations is to focus on the areas that carry their cultures. And one of those is language. Hundreds of Zimbabweans are learning Chinese, most of them at the Confucius Institute at the University of Zimbabwe.
Tells us how something was happening.
This is seen as one of the ways Zimbabwe can fully maximize its partnership with China.
At the University of Zimbabwe, we are now looking at how their language can help us to facilitate the relationship between us and China.
But the benefits flow both ways. Teachers here have learned as much as they've taught, especially about creating a balance between work and play.
In China, we are always in a rush, and it's very competitive in China. But here, one thing I learned is that you should slow down and enjoy the life. That's all I learned.
Well, still within the University of Zimbabwe, just a stone's throw away actually from the Confucius Institute, is this high-performance computing center. What's inside there is referred to as a supercomputer, and I'm here to find out for myself just what exactly it does. It's a system that speeds up data processing exponentially. Its peak processing speed is 36 trillion processes per second. But what does that mean in real life?
For our weather forecasting, using a normal Core i5 computer, it will take them 30 hours to be able to process one day's data from satellite data. As you know, modern weather forecasting uses satellite data mostly. Now, using a supercomputer, we are now able to process that data in about 8 minutes.
That will improve agricultural output and provide early warnings for disasters like drought or floods. It will also aid geological surveys and be applied in gene and DNA testing. The project was conceived during the China-Africa Science and Technology Conference in 2011.
Post-independence, Africa has largely been restricted to agricultural development, and most of the aid from developed countries was coming in to assist in terms of food. And China at the forum discussed and I think put forward a new thrust in terms of how to aid developing countries to develop together. And science and technology was then, of course, as a subject of discussion, a major talking point, because the Asian experience is that if any modern country is to develop in this day and age, it must use science and technology.
China's Inspur Group has built the center, the fourth in Africa and the second largest on the continent. And the bridge building just went a step further with the launch of a first ever Shona to Chinese dictionary in November this year, eliminating the risk of anything getting lost in translation. Farai Mwakatuya, CCTV, Harare, Zimbabwe.